Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about Mindful Monday. And for today's Mindful Monday, we'll be thinking about what's going on in our bodies. You know, feelings aren't facts. Feelings are just information our bodies give us about what's going on in there. Have you ever noticed when you're really feeling excited about maybe a trip to the zoo, or you're feeling so excited about maybe going on a walk or on a bike ride? How sometimes you can get really nervous feelings in your stomach that make you feel like you just got to jump up and down, like there's some magic jumping beans in there, and you feel like you just got to go a little bit crazy. Well, those types of feelings from our body help us know what's going on in our mind sometimes. And sometimes we can have feelings that are the opposite. Like if we're feeling a little lonely, sometimes in our bodies it can make our tummies hurt or our heads tired. All of that information from our bodies is really important. And if we pay attention to the information that our body is giving us, we can manage sometimes the emotions that come out of that. Have you ever felt so angry that your whole body felt like you were a volcano, just shaking and shaking like you're about to explode? I have. You know, when we have those feelings that come up in our bodies, sometimes it's hard to know what they mean. So today, our friends at Go Noodle are going to help us practice My Body Says What? You're going to be watching that with me, and we're going to do a little exercise with them to see if we can see what's going on in our body and what our bodies and our body language is telling us. Because just like you have a body, everybody in your house has a body too. So sometimes if you can put your feelings detective glasses on, feelings detective glasses, you can see how other people are feeling. And when you do, sometimes it'll help you have those emotions of empathy or feeling what someone else is feeling in that moment. That's what's so great about being a feelings detective and figuring out what's going on in our own bodies. It can also help us figure out what's going on with our friends or our family. So today, we are going to check in with our feelings with our friends at Go Noodle. And when you do, I want you to be thinking about how when we check in with our feelings, it can also sometimes help us pause, checking in with our feelings, and then think about what's making me feel that way. And if my feelings are happy and awesome, most of the time I know. But sometimes when my feelings are not so happy, not so awesome, I can have a really hard time figuring it out. And I might need to talk to an adult, asking that adult why I'm feeling this way. You might find yourself having some really big, confusing feelings while we're social distancing because we're outside of our routines, and sometimes things can get really tricky. So, when you start to have big feelings, I want you to pause. I want you to put on your feelings detective glasses. Go ahead, put on my feeling detective glasses. And I want you to really try to think in your mind as a feelings detective, what am I feeling in my body? And what does it mean that I'm thinking in my mind? Sometimes we're afraid or worried or even bored or lonely. It can get really tricky to detect what feelings we actually have. But with some practice, and with practice from our friends at Go Noodle, we can get really great at being feelings detectives. Let's practice that today. And I'll see you back tomorrow for Tranquil Tuesday.